Looks like a typical morning outside the Tulsa County Courthouse in Oklahoma. That is, until this man shows up. To say he's underdressed is an understatement. He's wearing nothing but a shirt, leather harness, and shoes. And to be clear, without this blur here, you'd see it all. Besides the occasional glance, there is surprisingly little reaction. Until he gets to the security checkpoint, where he's immediately arrested and taken into custody. Brian Edward Johnson is booked into jail on a complaint of indecent exposure. He's later released after posting $2,000 bond. So why did 55-year-old Johnson show his 55-year-old Johnson? Believe it or not, he says it was all part of a dare. Next time, maybe he should go for the truth and nothing but. Next, we're in Polk County, Florida, where Judge Hope Patty's virtual courtroom is holding first appearance hearings. The defendants in this session are all appearing from the Polk County Jail.
Scott Rosener.
But now the feed has inexplicably switched to a portable device that Master Deputy Bailiff Beverly McCall is taking with him to another part of the jail.
Mr. McCall, I'm not sure why the video is on you, but it is. I need to see the inmates.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm trying.
You trying to do what?
Trying to set the settings on here and the volume.
Is that Mr. Rosener?
In isolation.
In some apparent confusion, McCall has moved to another inmate on the docket, who's confined to the isolation cells. This is 34-year-old Ivan Torres. A day earlier, Torres was charged with burglary of an unoccupied conveyance and burglary of an unoccupied structure after police found him on the secured grounds of a landscaping business that was closed for the night. Today, Torres is making his first appearance before Judge Patty, but instead of wearing a typical inmate jumpsuit, he's wearing his birthday suit. Not only is Torres completely naked, he appears to be shadowboxing. The other inmates and court staff in the virtual hearing react. But Judge Patty is so engrossed in the case file that she hasn't even noticed his lack of briefs.
All right, well, let's do him since you're there. Ivan Torres. All right, Mr. Torres, you are here charged with burglary of an unoccupied structure and burglary of an unoccupied conveyance. Do you have an attorney representing you, sir?
But now she sees it.
She's not responding, Your Honor.
The judge carries on as if nothing is amiss and consults with a public defender in the courtroom on next steps.
Ms. Smith, how do you wish for me to proceed?
I would just ask to reset it one more time for tomorrow at this point.
All right, we're going to move Mr. Torres to tomorrow and see if he's a little more cooperative.
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next day, Torres was released on bond. He was not required to appear for his second appearance, and he's free, awaiting trial.
Susan Surratt.
Next, we go to bond court in Broward County, Florida. Judge John Hurley presiding.
Hi, Mr. Hurley.
The defendant is Susan Surratt. She's charged with disorderly intoxication in a public place. While at a bar, Surratt got into an altercation with another woman and police were called. It's not her first run-in with the law. And before Judge Hurley sets bond, he has some questions.
Do you have money in the bank, ma'am?
Not right now.
Well, how do you pay for your bills at the condo?
I work.
What do you do for work?
I work as a hairdresser.
But this defendant does more than just cut hair.
And I'm also Kayla Tupke.
And you're also what?
Kayla Tupke. I'm an escort, too.
No. Right.
One star
She'll tell you what.
magazine model.
Wow.
The 54-year-old has a robust following online in the adult entertainment world.
And I do it in my condo and other people's houses, my clients' houses. A hairdresser.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I wasn't sure.
For 30 years, 30 years.
Okay, well, I guess that kind of sums everything up.
With that issue cleared up, Surratt moves on to a more serious topic.
And I've been beaten up tonight by police. The police also. And also this, too. From somebody who pushed me on the ground. All over my body.
After Surratt shows Judge Hurley her injuries, he considers his next move.
She does have a...
Disgusting condition.
In light of her condition, Judge, please do not revoke the bond. I'm ready.
Yes, we do, sir. I don't think releasing her at this point, just based on what I'm seeing.
She's somebody that needs help.
While Hurley is unsure about releasing her, the public defender argues for it, along with a mental health evaluation, which Hurley ultimately agrees to, along with a $100 bond.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we're in District Court in Washtenaw County, Michigan for a virtual hearing. Judge Anna Frushauer is presiding over a busy docket today, with many attorneys and defendants logged in, waiting for their cases to be called. One of them is 44-year-old Derek Lester. 6 months earlier, on his first day at a factory job, Lester got into an altercation with a manager over his timesheet. He allegedly grabbed the manager by the throat, threw him into a pile of boxes, and then tried to punch him. Lester was later arrested and charged with assault. He told police he never touched the man, that he only pointed and argued. Lester said he didn't like the manager talking down to him. Today in the virtual courtroom, most sit patiently at home or at work, but Lester has decided to multitask while he waits his turn. He appears to be grooming himself, then having a smoke break, all while popping on and off his virtual background. But after everyone in the hearing watches Lester shower and shampoo, Judge Frushauer decides it's time to address his inappropriate courtroom behavior.
Mr. Lester, you need to put a shirt on, or you're going to be removed from the meeting.
But when the judge calls his case minutes later, Lester is still shirtless.
State of Michigan versus Derek Lester.
Yes, I'm here, Your Honor.
Mr. Lester, put a shirt on.
Give me 1 second. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Mr. Lester, this is still a courtroom, so please, in the future, put on an appropriate shirt for court.
I'm so sorry. I just got out the shower. I'm sorry.
The judge decides to just move on.
Sir, if you can't afford an attorney, the court can appoint one at the public's expense. Would you like the assistance of an attorney?
Yes, you can appoint me an attorney.
Okay.
The judge calls on Public Defender Brian Crago, who's in the virtual courtroom for other defendants, to represent Lester for today. They go into a private breakout room to briefly discuss his case. When they return, Lester has a more appropriate shirt on, but now it's his headgear that catches the judge's attention.
Mr. Lester, you need to remove your hat. This is still a courtroom.
And apparently things did not go well in the breakout room.
Based upon our communication or lack thereof in terms of our ability to effectively communicate with one another, he's asking for 2 weeks so he can hire
What was the discussion about? What was the discussion about?
It was pertaining to your courtroom behavior and decorum, and my advice.
Okay, you were disrespectful. You was disrespectful, and you was talking to me like I was your child. So therefore, that's where the problem lies. And no, you will not represent me.
Mr. Lester, you wish to retain your own.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and spend my money. I'm gonna go and spend my money. That's what I'm gonna do. I already got.
How much more time are you requesting to find an attorney? Mr. Lester, you froze, so I don't know what your response was.
Hello.
I think we might have lost him, so I will pass this matter. Mr. Lester, can you unmute yourself?
After a few more tries, Lester has found a stable internet connection.
How much time are you requesting for this?
I think I need another 30 days realistically.
Mr. Lester, that will be your final opportunity to retain counsel. At that point, you'll have to represent yourself or you'll have to use the public defender's office because there is a victim in this case and I can't keep adjourning it indefinitely until you can retain counsel. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Lester did hire a private attorney to represent him at his next hearing. He remains free on bond, pending trial. Next up, Spokane County Superior Court in Washington for a hearing on outstanding warrants. 3 months earlier, 28-year-old Jordan McElwain missed his hearing on 4 felony charges, including possession of a controlled substance, escape, attempt to elude, and vehicular hit and run. Today, McElwain's in court, and the judge orders that he be taken into custody. But when he hears the judge's decision, McElwain decides to bail on going to jail. This is Spokane County Sheriff's Detective Brad Humphrey. He just happens to be in the courtroom on other business when McElwain makes a break for it. Humphrey is hot on his trail. Humphrey corners him at a dead end when McElwain turns quarterback and tries an end run. But he ends up on the floor, sacked. McElwain might be down, but he's not out. He gets up and continues the fight. Even Humphrey landing a blow to his chest doesn't stop him. At which point, this innocent bystander decides to distance herself from the tussle. Off camera, McElwain continues to resist, eventually pulling both men down 2 flights of stairs. And they're not done yet. McElwain gets caught with his pants down, literally, when his jeans slide to his knees and cause him to stumble. Humphrey seizes the moment to pounce, taking McElwain to the floor again. Moments later, Humphrey's able to finally cuff McElwain with the help of other officers. Both men are medically cleared with only minor injuries. McElwain is booked into the Spokane County Jail on the 4 previous felony warrants and 4 new charges: 2 counts of 3rd-degree assault, 2nd-degree escape, and resisting arrest. McElwain remains in custody, awaiting trial.